I'd like to welcome everybody to the March 5th, 2026 Town Council Workshop. If you would please join me in saluting the flag. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Welcome. So, first item on the agenda tonight is code violation door hanger review. So, who would like to take the lead in that run? Not me.
I can, real quick. I'll give you an update. So, on the original code door hangers that we did them in orange just to make sure people could see them and listed the codes on here. I think they become a little bit too cumbersome for everybody to read over it. In reaching out to everyone and talking with Dave and the staff, we decided to try a different appearance, and of course we did have some residents involved in this as well, and went with a green, shortening the description but leaving the code on there, making sure they had good information, making a courtesy notice too, not a violation notice. And then it's coming back to council for them to review, make recommendations before we order. And it's also got to go to legal to make sure that we're in compliance.
I think that, Cindy, before they approve the door hanger, you ought to approve the procedure because it would impact how the door hanger is going to look.
Correct. Like I said, you're just making a decision on how it looks right now. We can't do any kind of voting tonight.
Well, we could certainly ask you to make a change to it for
Yes,
approve later. Right?
absolutely.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just need to tell me what your expectations is for this.
With the legal on the back that we provided.
So the code on the front, the little quick scan code, does that just take you to the town website or does it take you directly to the code?
Takes you directly to the code.
Okay.
You take your phone and your camera, scan over it. You don't press your camera button. You just scan over it. It'll bring it up and you just tap on it and it'll bring the code right up.
Yeah, I know how it works. I just wasn't sure if it was going to take you to the town website or if it was going to take you to the code.
Yeah, takes you right to the code.
I mean, I think it's short and sweet, so and like you said, once they scan it, they can see actually what it entails with that code.
Correct.
I don't have a problem with short and sweet, so there's no sense in writing the whole code. You know, you're being violated for something. So.
You might want to consider the number of days. Please respond within 5 days has always been what we've had on there. So you might want to consider that. Usually they do it on a Monday and then they follow up the following Monday. Tuesday? They do it
follow up on
Monday. Okay, sorry.
Tuesday
Tuesday follow up
the
Monday.
weekend. So, yeah, I think that's fine.
This is going to be phase one, correct?
Sorry?
This is the initial notification of the violation.
Correct. Correct.
And then the follow-up would be
A letter.
a certified letter.
Correct.
Because I noticed even in Mrs. Christopher's suggestion, which was very well written, we haven't changed the time span for the overall process to finally end up in court. It still drags out for an extended period of time.
Correct.
And from what legal has told us, that not much we can do about it. I still seem to think there is.
So we can't do any kind of lien process until it goes to the end of the year. So as of December 31st, if their outstanding balance is $750, we can send them to tax sale for a lien. If it's under that, you cannot. You'd have to resort to small claims court.
So we can't prosecute this in district court?
Yes, you can. Small claims court.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes,
We've had our ordinances enforced there before.
correct.
And usually the state's attorney and the judge all have a copy of our ordinances, the commissioner, and they just refer to it, and they handle it just like any other court trial. I'm just trying to, everybody has a bad day. You go on vacation, you come back, you got a notice your grass needs to be cut, you get it cut or you make arrangements to get it cut. I understand that, I mean, that's just life. I just have a problem with repeat offenders, and it seems like once we get to a point where we take them to court, then the whole process starts all over again, and it drags out, and this just becomes a way of life for them. And nothing really gets accomplished. I mean, the whole purpose of the code or the ordinance is to make the town presentable and to obtain some type of standard. And I just think that our whole ordinance thing, the way it's being processed, it just drags it out, and we never meet the standard that the original ordinance intended to meet. So,
I mean, you're already giving them 5 days.
yeah, I mean, and I don't even have a problem with 10 days, because I get it. If it's
Sure.
raining at 5 days, you can't
Sure.
enter. I don't have a problem with that. I just have a problem with I think that it needs to be in phases where if this is a repeat offender, the policy changes. And that's just my opinion, but I just have a problem with the habitual people, that this is a way of life for them. And we just constantly play this game, and then every month we get beat up over grass. That's just, to me, is an issue. Grass, cars in yards, trash, everything. So,
We're taking people to court.
yeah, I mean, it's, but like I say, everybody has a bad day, and I get it, and we all fall down occasionally and need help getting up. I do like the reference that Ms. Christopher had about the veterans and the disabled, and using the Boy Scouts and other civic organizations to kind of help them alleviate some of this. I think that's a good idea. Some of it can even be a service project. But their schools also have service hours.
Service learning, yeah.
Yeah, service learning hours. So, I mean, there's different resources that we can tap into, but I do think that we need to sit down with legal and the state's attorney's office and find out what our recourses are, and if the time frame for repeat offenders can be narrowed instead of lengthened. 6 months later, you're finally going to court and the problem still exists. You haven't accomplished anything. And that's what frustrates me. I've said my piece.
Am I to assume that this is cut off, does it say courtesy notice on the top of the tag? Because it's cut off on the one we have. Okay.
Yes.
And I wasn't going to say anything, because every time I look at this, I change my mind.
I know you do.
I know I do. Because I'm trying to be fair, but I'm trying to get, everything accomplished at the same time. I just think when you get this, you get date, address, please respond within 5 days, the date, and then we checked the block, rubbish, garbage, and then we said, to resolve this issue, please contact the town of Greensboro at your earliest convenience. I think it's courtesy notice, but maybe we should say that in the beginning that you are in violation of one of the town code, check below. And then down here say, any questions or concerns how to remediate this situation, please call us at this number within so many days. You know what I mean? So that they understand, oh, okay, I'm in violation of something. We're just politely telling them, you're in violation of something.
Okay, so the original one did have that, and then, when Ms. Christopher made her suggestion, you all came back and said, we agree. So we made this lighter, not to say violation, but a courtesy notice.
It's a
And then if
warning
they
of
don't
traffic.
follow through, then they get a letter that states you're in violation, and you're gonna get fined. So you all have to determine how you want this laid out. I'm only going by what the recommendation was on this. You all make any changes you want to this, and I'll be more than happy to abide by it. So I'm going off of what you all said at the last meeting that we had.
Well, I'm glad we changed the color
So.
to green from orange or red. I do agree with this one. I mean, this is like a little slap on the wrist. Hey, we noticed you didn't cut your grass. You have 5 days to get back to us. Please go ahead and get it done. If not, we'll send a letter out. How many days do they have to respond once the letter goes out?
Well, it's gonna take at least 7 to 10 days to get the letter there.
Okay.
And now you're up to 15 days, pretty much, if it's
Yeah.
snail mail.
Well, the problem is you're sending it to the property owner. And the property owner, if it's tenant property, the property owner may be in Virginia or Florida or
Yeah.
Hawaii for all we know.
Correct.
Right. So that may drag that out even further.
So, but it's the property owner's responsibility.
Well, it depends on how the lease is written, because sometimes the tenant is responsible for grass cutting.
They are, but not in our eyes.
Not in our eyes.
Right, correct.
We deal with the property owner.
Correct.
Anybody else?
I'll put everything I have.
people are gonna get a difference, it was courtesy notice about weeds.
Personally, I think putting in, is a courtesy notice, it wrenches it down, but at least says you've been, noted that you've had this violation.
Courtesy
Think so,
notice
Terry?
of a
I
code
mean, it was your
violation.
suggestion.
Well, what if we put
Yeah,
the code violation here, so that they know that this is the code violation?
Yeah, on top of there,
Yeah. Does that make sense?
yeah.
yeah. Right underneath the date.
Actually, the door hangers are warning.
So do we have a consensus on this? I mean, no, we can't vote on it, do we have a consensus, so we don't have a change in it?
Courtesy notice of a code violation.
Yeah, I mean, it's a written warning. It's like you've been caught speeding, they write you a warning, cut your brake. You got so many days to correct it, or you're gonna get a ticket.
Correct.
And then the other thing, so I'll be moving this up, making this a little bit smaller. I'll be putting the verbiage from our legal
Right.
down here. I will be moving all of this up, and then I'm gonna add a second one. So one is the town code, and then I think we need to put the other one, which is the land ordinance on here as well. Or not the land ordinance, but the, there's another one. The,
Property maintenance.
Yes, property maintenance one as well.
Can you make me happy down here where it says, is there any questions or concerns or to resolve this? I mean, I want to know if you got
How do you
question
want
or
it worded?
concern or to resolve this. Just add the 3 words in there.
If you have any questions.
Any questions or concerns, how to resolve this would be wonderful, I think, polite. But at least let them know, if you have questions, how do you fix it? All right, so it sounds like you have a consensus on the tag. The next thing is how long do we give, if they don't respond by this particular date, then we have to send out a letter by mail. I don't know that it's gonna take 7 to 10 days to get there. Hopefully, if it's in Greece, it shouldn't take more than a couple days to get there.
It
No,
goes all the
because it's
way
gotta
to
go to
Baltimore.
Baltimore,
No,
then it
it's
goes
gotta
to
go to
Easton,
Baltimore.
then it's gotta come to Ridgely.
Yeah.
It takes a while.
It does. I can tell you it does. We've mailed stuff out just as, and to check it to see.
Everything goes through Baltimore.
Yeah.
So if you mail something from Greensboro to somebody else in Greensboro,
And then-
it goes all the way to Baltimore.
Well, the other hiccup you've got is it's certified mail. So certified mail takes a lot longer because they hold it at the post office until somebody comes in to sign for it, and if they don't, they try 3
The post office ain't open all that many hours, so.
before they send it back to us.
How many
So-
returns do you get for certified mail that never gets picked up?
A lot.
I had to pick up a certified mail from Greensboro at Ridgely Post Office.
Boxes in your driveway?
It's a
How
lot, but
much
it's
does
just
certified
Really?
mail
Yeah, your
cost?
mail
about
comes out original.
$19.
Correct.
Yeah.
Goes to
How many
Baltimore
do
to
you go on?
Easton to
Oh,
Ridgely.
little mail
to
trucks
Ridgely.
come out.
That's a lot, but it is a lot. The one thing about, according to Lindsay, is that if we send it out and it's not signed and it comes back, it's just our verification that we attempted to notify them, and it did go by certified mail, and they did reject it, so we can utilize
So do you
that.
want to give them 13 days, because on the 14th day, we'll be going back if they continue to do it weekly? You know, you and I have had this discussion. The rest of you haven't, but the issue is going to be with grass. Grass is a whole different animal than if somebody has rubbish in their front yard or a car with a flat tire or something like that, because the grass is going to continue to grow. So if we give them this notice, and now it's already at 10 inches, because we don't give them a notice until it's 10 inches, correct?
Correct.
So it's 10 inches, so now we've given them 5 days to call us and say, oh, by the way, you got grass. And they say, well, all right, well, what do I got? Or they don't call us, now we got to send the letter out. And that's going to take another 10 to 12 days to get there. So I think if you'll assume that, so whenever the date is you have on here, if they don't pay it by 14 days later or 13, then that's when you get the fine.
Well, during peak growth season for grass too, you might have to recut your grass again within 5 days.
Oh, I get that, but I'm just saying, there's no alternative for us to do. If we're gonna give them 5 days as courtesy notice, and then we gotta mail the violation out,
There's 15 days of
15
grass
days, no
Half a
growing.
month, yeah.
I know it's gonna grow, I just want you to be aware of that. So,
Yeah, but I don't wanna have different dates for different codes either.
You can't.
No.
Look,
No.
Too confusing.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's just keep this simple.
yeah, these door hangers, for 250 of these door hangers, it's $200.
How much?
200.
So,
for $250.
That's what I'm saying, you need to give them, if you give them
Well,
14
there's
days.
30, they're not flimsy,
They should,
because it rains or
they
whatever.
should be expired before they go.
Well, stamp is 74 cents
That way they
For
have,
us.
they don't have to wait 20.
to mail it,
Yeah,
and this is instant.
and I guess we can't, it's just that homeowners leave a good email address on file.
We do, some of them we do. We can't make them have an email on file. We do have the availability to email and text the property owner. But that's not a notification per Lindsay. We can't, that's not,
Legal said
no.
you can do it, but it's a courtesy thing.
Correct.
Legal said it doesn't count if you go to court.
It does not.
Had that conversation.
Yeah, we have. So right now you're saying do the 5-day courtesy notice. If they don't respond, we mail the letter out and give them 14 days.
We need to come up with a number that, so that it should expire the day before the person, our code enforcement officer goes back at, because if they go back at it the same day every week, you'd want it to expire, so when they come in the next day, they know how many violations they need, because they're gonna go out and check, and they'll come back and say, yep, they haven't cut it, so now we send out the
Well,
violation.
right now they go out every Tuesday,
Mhm.
every week.
So do the math, make that work, do the math to make it work. 5 days, and then you got, I need a calendar, I can't do it in my head, but, how many days do you need to make it go off that day before the 2 weeks?
Yeah, but if they don't get the letter,
Yeah,
then you're going out there and
And
they're
the
going,
problem
well,
is
I
we
never
don't-
received a letter.
But you're gonna give them enough time, you're gonna give them like 13 days,
yeah, but, okay, so just hear me out here.
right?
So you give them 5 days, and then, so they get it on Tuesday, the following Monday, we've not heard anything, we put a letter in the mail. It's gonna take, I can tell you, it's gonna be at least 10 days for a certified letter. So you get 10 more days,
That's 15.
that's 15. If they don't sign for the letter, we don't get that back for another 7 to 10 days telling us that it was, because they
Three
tried
attempts.
3 attempts.
Correct.
So you could be well over a month before.
Correct.
Now your grass could be,
Correct.
Tall as this building.
correct,
Or they cut it before they even get any of it.
correct. And then they're complaining because now we cut our grass and now you're sending me this letter.
Right.
Well, you put that generic statement in the bottom, if you've already made your payment or whatever, thank you.
Right. Or you've already cut your
Or you
grass,
put it on the
and
bottom
just
of the
ignore the
bill.
letter. Right.
I mean,
It's a no-win situation is
well,
what
it is, or you go with, I'm just thinking out loud here, so don't, you go with a 5-day courtesy notice, and then 10 days later, if they do not have it done, then we do a different one that says it's a violation and it's due now, and don't do a certified letter. The certified letter is what's hanging you up, it's costing us more money.
Are we required to do it?
We're, according to Lindsay, these do already with town codes, they do not, you can't use these for the, like the container one.
But for these violations that we're talking about right now, you can use it.
Yeah, this is what we've been
But you'd
using.
have to get another set made that said, you've been notified and you've had plenty of time, blah, 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 cut your grass.
Well, it'd
you're
still be
involved.
cheaper though than the certified letters. and
Yeah,
time
that's
and
true.
all that.
So
But
that's
is
an
that,
option.
sorry, but
So-
is that messing up for the property owner? Because you said it has to go to the property owner.
But it is going to the property owner because it's going to that property. I mean, it's up to them to
So
make
just
sure.
asking.
Yeah, yeah. So you all make a decision how you want to handle this. I'm just trying to figure out how we can do this in effective.
I just think it's
way.
gonna drag out, you're gonna get more problems, because then they're gonna say, I didn't get the letter, I cut my grass, and now I'm getting a letter. It's gonna be
Yeah.
more phone calls. I think if we do it the way we do, hang it, give them the violation.
Then they're gonna say they didn't get to hang because the wind blew it off,
Oh,
the
no.
kids stole it.
Well, well, let me just say this. When we go out, this gets put on the door hanger. Brandon, or whoever does, but it's not Brandon anymore, it's Miles. He goes out, he takes a picture, and it's got a timestamp on there. And this is what we've always done, to verify that we did that.
That's why you and I had the conversation where the 14 days came in, you and me. We put it up, you got 5 days, and then you got 13 days
Total.
from there to correct it, and on the 14th day, we're gonna find it.
Yeah.
Because that 14th day, they'll be back at making their patrol.
Well, if you hang that up and they've got 5 days, and unless they're on vacation, somebody's gonna see that door hanger. You're giving them too much time, you know? It's just like when you go on vacation in the summertime. and then you call me, I cut your grass for you. So somebody should be able to cut somebody's grass for them, if it's a neighborly type of thing.
Well, the problem, it seems like the biggest problem is that with the residents, that the property owner isn't on the premise, and you have to reach the property owner.
Right.
So that's the biggest issue right there.
Well, historically, we've only had how many, Brandon? 4 or 5 lots that really are a problem for us every year. So we're spending a lot of
Got
time.
about a handful that are repeat offenders.
And the property owners
But the
haven't
repeat
made any
offenders, they're
attempt
probably
to
making a lot,
rectify the
making a lot.
situation with their tenant?
I think some of them are property owners.
Yeah, some of them are the property owners.
Wow.
All right, council, you have to tell them what you want her to do. Not up to
I'm
me.
for putting the door hangers up, but then
So-
after that, making another door hanger instead of set a certified
Yeah,
letter.
I feel like.
One that we do constantly for, with like the grass cutting, the one that gets actual, one outside Granby Street, where the big pole building, the guy with, used to have all the junk cars.
Yeah.
He don't have rarely any place we put it in the door, that grass never gets cut. We constantly cut it.
Well, maybe in that kind of exception, we have to send him a letter. Because he's not there, there's nothing there.
So you have a door to the building,
Yep,
then you buy those sticky things that say violation notice, you shove the damn tag in there and stick it on the door.
Take a picture of it and send it to him.
That's cheaper, you can buy
Text it to
them,
him.
you can buy them from Uline or somebody, you can get a box of 500 for like $100.
Okay, so let me get this straight.
2 door hangers.
Yes. So we're gonna do 2. The first one's gonna be a courtesy notice for
Yeah.
5 days.
Right.
The second one's gonna be like an on-demand notice, it's gonna be a violation, and that's gonna happen 5 days later, and we're only gonna give them a total of 13 days,
I don't say,
Or
well, we give him
additional
13, give him 10, not even give him just 10 days.
10 days.
10 days.
Okay.
Let's make it simple, 10 days.
10, so they'll get,
Five for the warning, and 5 to you either cut it or you're getting fined.
Correct.
Yep.
all right.
That's it, 10 days.
Yeah, because some people might be on vacation for 2 weeks, and yes, I can get that, but
Well, it
still.
all comes down to encouraging communication to the town.
Correct.
So if you're gonna be away and you don't have anybody lined up, then call the town and tell them.
Do you want these tags to both be the same color?
No,
No.
it should not be.
So
Just asking.
so I would do green for the warning and do a red for the fine.
That'll get their attention.
Wait a minute, how many of those
I gotcha.
ordinance do you still have?
Not many, that's why
Okay.
it's pretty urgent that we need to
Say,
get
Need
this
different
done.
language anyway, probably.
Right.
So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna redesign these, I'm gonna send them back out to you to review, and then we'll make a vote on the 19th, how's that sound?
That's perfect.
All right.
And hopefully legal will be here at that meeting,
Okay.
that we can then get their blessing, okay? Awesome.
Pretty simple now.
Round up cheaper.
I love it when things come together.
So let it be written, so let it be well, can't vote on it.
Now,
It's a discussion.
Thank goodness we got that done.
Okay. Next.
So next thing on the, are we done with all of that?
yes.
That's all okay encompassed on that?
Yes, move on to the next.
Yes.
Are we not even going through the ordinance
So,
change or?
Did, that's up to you. So she submitted the ordinance change for you to look at. The only thing I can say is that the ordinance change is usually encompass all of it, so instead of 2, there's all. But that's up to you all, if you want to go through what she has laid out for the grass cutting that was in here, because it's part of the door hanger.
is it,
So this is just an amendment to it, the certain, codes, not the whole ordinance.
This would be, one is for the rental license compliance, and then one is for the grass, weed and grass, yes. That's already been done.
Basically, it's fine, other than you just have to change it to what what we just
About the
discussed.
door tags,
Yeah, what
yes.
we just discussed. But other than that, that's just a language change.
Okay, so what I'll do is, again, I'll redesign these, send them out to you, and then bring them up, and then I can send these ordinances to Lindsay for them to review, or
And
to
I
Jen.
think the time needs to be changed in this too, because I think I put 72 hours.
3 days.
It needs to be 5 days.
and then we'll be able to introduce that ordinance at the next meeting.
discuss it and so that Lindsay, they've all got to look at it. I don't know if we'll
I
have it
thought you
back,
were gonna
but
send it to him.
I can. I'm gonna try to get it back,
Okay,
I'm gonna try.
all right.
Thank you for your help on that too.
Yes.
Sharon.
Hey, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for listening.
Yep.
Was our solution okay?
Yeah, the whole bottom line is just that you guys, the town is covered, that you've done steps A, B, and C. You know, if you do end up going to court, you know, you've given fair chance to make it right, that's all.
Yeah, but you brought up stuff we hadn't considered, like civic organizations and
Yeah.
stuff to kind of.
Yeah, I mean, if someone needs it, you know, those things are open to people, maybe they don't know it.
Before doing that, and especially for the high schoolers to get community service hours, but I was advised that apparently that it does not qualify.
About that, I don't know.
But, I mean,
You know
regardless,
how long it's been since I've been to high school?
yeah.
I think in order to get
Somebody
community
just
hours,
has to sign off.
yes, that school has to approve it first. It could be approved maybe, but it hasn't been yet.
Somebody
Okay.
from the town.
All right, well, and thank you, Terry, very much for your input. All right, discuss the multiple properties, condemning.
This was brought up by Kim in reference to a couple of the properties, one in town and one down off of Mill Street, on whether or not we could condemn them. We did check, I will say this, and she sent this over to me.
So the 105 Main Street is the one right over here,
Correct.
correct? I did see people, when I got this email, I looked, I see people carry plywood in the back.
They are working on it. I can attest to that
Okay.
because I hear them banging
Yes.
every day.
Yeah, so they-
Oh,
Well, that's
wow.
good to know.
They
Okay.
replaced the broken window, they had somebody come out and check the roof, and they have been working inside, because I have heard them.
I've seen them unloaded.
Correct. And then the one on Mill Street is up for sale, I do know that. I think you did an inspection there, or went in there last year.
Last year, when there was a report about people breaking in there, the town actually had to go around there and put plywood up on the doors.
That was the old shirt factory.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there was only one section of the building, there was an addition to the far right-hand side, the roof had
Sagged in.
yeah, but it wasn't structured, just, like had been wet and, looked just a drywall, but everything else was
Structurally.
structurally sound.
Jamie did reach out to Hal at MDIA, and he stated, of course, nobody here can do, can,
Gotta be a building inspector who
yes,
condemns it.
correct.
It's actually police chief.
No, that's not true, because
Police chief
when,
can condemn.
yeah, because when I was mayor, I had Chief Jackson, he condemned Nick's apartment up top there, above Tenchies, because they had people going in and out of there, and it was dangerous
There's
at the time.
limited circumstances,
Yeah.
but the
Right.
police chief does have the power to condemn property.
Well, he said that you can go in and do an outside inspection if it shows that there is some issues. You cannot legally go in to the building, though, to inspect. You can't do that. If the property owner says no, you can't. He did state that it would be about $100 to go in and do the inspection to determine whether or not they don't meet code and it can be condemned. But he said it would be very difficult to do that. So,
Well, that's like Passporter's old house. Look how long it took us to get that condemned and get that one taken care of. That drug out for years.
I suspect that if the police chief condemned a building or apartment, it's a temporary one till a true building inspector can get there. I have to read up on that.
It's limited in what he
Yeah, I
can.
can't believe that, as far as permanently condemned.
I don't know about permanent, but I know they do have the ability to do that.
No, it's just preventing from people going in there until it can be inspected to make sure that it's safe. That,
The one on Main Street right here, that was my main concern, because I had been told that somebody went in there to look at that, to purchase it at one point, and when they closed the door to leave, the whole front wall moved. So, that scared me, especially because it looks like the top part is only being held up by those little red posts, and then there's, of course, pigeons all
Oh,
in
yeah.
there, and that's like a health concern.
He was out there this past week on something up there trying to deter pigeons.
right.
Okay, well, it's good to know that somebody's working on it.
They are.
Well, an owl worked with pigeons?
Excuse me?
An owl?
Yeah, the one
Fake
that used to
owl.
be there
That
with
worked
the
for
thrift
pigeons?
shop or whatever.
Oh, no. All I know is a hot mess
I
up there.
was told that the owl will work for a temporary, but,
Gotcha.
but
And they learn that it don't move.
yeah.
Same with geese.
Whatever happened to a house that burned? Remember the one right there on was it Mill Street that
Yeah.
burned?
Just down.
It's down,
They tore it down.
Yeah.
I haven't been by it, so I haven't been.
finally.
So.
So,
I did notice there was a shed there though.
yeah, it's in the back.
So that's tight, I guess, with
Yeah,
property.
it's, yeah.
So, does this satisfy your curiosity, Kim?
Yeah, there doesn't seem like there's a lot we can do, but I am happy to know that somebody's working on that one.
Yeah, and just so you know, I think he put in here that, I guess for the chief to be able that, it has to, the windows, if they're busted out and they're noticeable, he could go. There's a few things on the outside, but again, the chief cannot go on the inside if the property owner is not allowing it. So it's only external items that you see that.
Well, that might
can
apply
be.
to 115 Mill Street then with the windows busted out.
Yeah, that's back with the bank, so,
That person doesn't live there anymore than it's unoccupied?
Correct. correct.
I haven't seen a car there for a while.
Yeah, they've been in contact with us.
All right, constant yield rate.
So I did get the new constant yield rate for 2026, and I'm sorry, I found an ordinance that stated that our rate was 70 cents. This was from 2025 R-01, and it says that tax rate's 70%. It's actually
0.68.
68.
correct, but this
They
was
dropped it.
one of the bounds. So, yeah, so it's at 68 cents. So they are, it's coming through at, what?
63.5
Correct,
is the recommended.
correct. We need to know this by March 25th if we plan on reducing it. I am working on the figures now to find out what we need to,
Yeah, I gotta see the budget.
You know what?
Well, see, we had a lot of people bellyaching because they thought we raised taxes, but their assessments went up. So that's why it made it sound like it was going up, but it was just the assessment of the properties that went up, and it caused their
So,
tax rate to
I
go up.
thought we had till later in the year to notify the constant yield rate. We don't have to tell them by March, in March. We have to tell them 21 days before the budget's set, I believe is what it is.
it says that here, the final date to change the homestead that's homestead is March 15th.
Yeah, but the homestead,
And
I
then
gotta do
the
this.
March 25th for municipal governments. Okay, so that's the homestead.
Yeah. We don't have to
Okay,
do it until, because we haven't set our tax rate, we haven't seen the budget yet.
No.
There's no
No.
way we can do it by March.
I am, like I said, I've been working on that the last 3 days, working on the budget, trying to get everything done, and making sure everything's coded in QuickBooks, it's there.
But what they are saying is that if we lowered our tax rate to .635, that should bring us in the same amount of income that we had this year.
Correct.
Which still may not be enough.
Maybe not.
So just so you know, as of June the 6th of 2025, we were at $1,040,120 is what the tax, supposedly brought in for those that, as long as they
So,
paid.
so we have roughly 4.5% between the 6.3 and our current 6.8
Correct.
that we got to, I don't use the word play with, but, we
Either
can
we
still
keep-
reduce the current,
Correct,
be higher than the constant yield rate, but still lowering the tax rate.
correct,
Okay.
Or
absolutely,
keep it the same.
yes, correct.
Okay. Much else you need to say about that?
Does anybody have any other questions about that or any concerns? And you gotta remember too, you gotta take into account the reductions, which is the firehouse gets a reduction, you've got the homestead credit, and you've got the, there's another credit that's given, that comes out of that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, because the last budget was based off the full amount without the reduction, just so you know.
The state, the
Correct.
town, and the fire department.
Yes. So it's the state homeowner credit, Greensboro homestead credit, and then the volunteer fire department credit. So your budget last year was based off the total amount, not,
What we actually brought in,
yes,
so it was less.
yes. sure that, there's an understanding of that you don't take that top amount, you've got to take the bottom amount with that amount subtracted out.
Right.
So about $41,000 difference.
Oh, the fun part. Do you have any other questions about that?
No. Pretty simple.
Okay. We're on to the charter.
Okay, so previously there was suggestions for charter changes. They did not go through. I think you all started to do some and decided to wait until you could get through the whole thing. So on top, there is what you all had discussed, but this has been, I think, a couple years ago.
Yeah, probably
Well,
3
we got
years
something
ago,
here,
wasn't it?
charter signed by Timmy Boyd.
Oh, what happened, remember when Tammy and we were discussing this? There was amendments that had been done and nobody had put them in place.
So,
Like, in other words, that one there, for example,
We
that
don't
was
have that.
an amendment, but
Do you
Tammy
have
didn't have it,
the
we
list
asked
of
for it,
changes that were
but
suggested?
she's found them.
nothing discussion remarks, this is just this. She didn't put that in your packet.
Yep.
So what I did was, I took time, I went back over, the wording in the charter is extremely outdated. I mean, there's one part in here that talks about women voting. So what I did was go back through, change the verbiage up, made it more current. I did check laws as well. This is with Lindsay currently. They are reviewing everything to come back and give us an opinion. So I don't know if you guys want to start tonight and maybe just go through a few sections, see what you think.
Did we ever find, because I know at one point we were struggling to find ordinances that had been passed since the last charter update.
Okay, so let me give you a little update on that. I had a meeting on Tuesday with E-Code, because as you know, 6 months ago, we signed up with them for them
Right.
to get everything together and put it online for us. There's been a struggle because we had 8 years of ordinances that never got put through to the town code. So I had a meeting with them because I got a trial drive from Lindsay that had what she had, and then I had some, so there was 264 documents that I sent to them. So they had some questions, of course, to go through them, and they will update our town code. Once they get it done and update the format, she'll give it back to me for me to review. It'll come back here to you all for you to review, and then we can move forward with getting that uploaded all onto the website. But this was a hiccup in the road for us because we had to go back in and pull and find every ordinance that we ever put through and signed. I had blank ones, I had draft ones, a lot of them I didn't have signed ones, so we had to go back in and start digging around, see what we could find.
So
now,
these changes that we're looking at, does that include those?
so this is the charter,
Okay,
and what they're changing is the town code.
okay.
So the town code that are on these, and you go and scan this, it's not gonna have the last 8 years updated in it. Does that make sense?
It's gonna be the one that's online, on your website, right?
No?
2018?
Yeah, correct.
It's from like
Correct.
2010.
So you've got 8 years of ordinances that if it changed the town code that did not get updated in that. So that's what they're working on, and she's pulled somebody to just sit and be dedicated to that project,
Okay.
which is probably gonna cost us an extra $500, but it'd be worth it to get that done.
And we're confident that we found good copies?
Yes,
Okay.
believe me, it's been 6 months.
Okay.
Matching up everything. So what this is just a version that I went through, double checked all of the charter, the wording, made some changes. I can see that there was a charter change in here, which I got in the middle. That's Jane's name. So I don't know how you want to proceed with this, and my idea was to get started and have you go through and make any suggestions on the verbiage. What is in black is the original, what is in red is what I drafted.
I'm sorry. The red.
And this is all over here, this whole packet that I put together, because it was all over.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, I read
That should
through
be
it.
Article 1.
Okay,
Correct.
and that's
Yeah.
us.
Well, that's all, just updated legal now.
It is. There's a few things that I added that were not there previously. There is one section in here that requires the mayor and town manager to sign off on every check. The issue you run into is if the mayor is not available, then it would go to the town manager and the deputy town manager. But of course, when he returns, he would review them. But we have to get the bills paid. So if you're going on vacation for a week, we've got no way of paying bills by check, because we're paying everything by check.
Right, and we were just talking about that today, because I won't be here next
I
week.
thought it was only a certain amount.
No, it's
Well,
not in
why
here.
would it be the deputy town manager and not the vice mayor?
I think because the vice mayor may not be available, either he works a full-time job, is what we were thinking. So this way, it comes to me, I review every invoice, I make sure that everything there, I sign, and then Jamie would sign, and then the invoices would then be pulled aside for the mayor when he returns to come back in and view to make sure that there was no
It would
issues.
make sense for you to sign them in my absence, because you're on the bank account.
Correct. Correct.
Well,
Yeah,
if
that's
there's
the
two
other thing.
signatures on a check, I'm okay with it.
Well, exactly. And it's just gonna be a rare
It's just
occurrence
checks and
because
balances.
he came in tonight and signed 40 checks, I think, you had a lot. So that was one provision in here that needed to be changed.
Yes. No.
I didn't sign them either, so I don't know who's been signing them.
Because,
I know Kevin signed.
No,
So you weren't
because-
following your charter.
because we allow the town manager to authorize so much money.
I get up to 5,000.
Yeah, so it's a check
But-
below that.
Your charter says different.
Right.
Okay, moving on.
So it just brings us up to date in case there is somebody not
So
in.
right now, every check requires two signatures, regardless of the amount?
Correct. And it should. It should.
Yeah, it should.
So,
I've been signing,
yes, he
you
has.
signed about 50 of them now. They're all electric bills, so. Okay, I think that we're gonna, if we don't just muddle through this, we're gonna be here forever and never get anything done. And I would hope that the council would have had the opportunity to at least review the suggestions that you and I collectively have made to the charter. And I would recommend that we just start right from the beginning and go to section 101. Any questions, if not, we'll go on to 102, and then just keep moving until we get tired of being here.
I have not had a chance to go through this.
Okay, so, all right, so let me make a recommendation then. I know we've been trying to get this done, but now that you all have the full packet, you know what's going on, I would recommend that you all read through this, and then at
Highlight.
the next meeting, we start hammering this out, and I say we get through a quarter each time, and that way, within the next 4 months, we can have this done. Then we can advertise it, we can hold a public hearing for the whole entire thing and get it done.
Process to change.
We just got this, what, Thursday?
Next week, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, I've been slammed.
Yeah, I started reading it on
Well,
Sunday.
and I apologize, I took this home and I worked on it, and I literally had stuff crossed out and everything, and when I came in the next day, it was gone, and it didn't sync and share, so I lost the whole thing. My computer's getting ready to crash. So I had to quickly pull this back together to at least get me to where I had made the changes and not to cross through.
So we don't have a meeting next Thursday, the next scheduled meeting is the 19th,
19th.
correct?
So the only question I have, and the notes from reviewing what you sent us digitally,
And we can ask questions.
is there's one section that deals with making agreements with other municipalities. And in my particular digital copy, it's highlighted yellow, and I didn't know why.
You know what, there was a little glitch in there too, I think it came from my computer when I was trying to get.
So that highlight doesn't mean
It's
anything.
nothing, yeah,
'Cause
I couldn't get it
see
out of
where-
there.
I couldn't see where it actually went to anything.
Like I said, it's barely hanging on here.
Okay. He's getting you a new one, right?
He brought me the new one in tonight, he'll be back in to sync it and get it all done for me before this one
Okay.
crashes.
Yeah, once I have a chance, it won't take me long to go through it.
Yeah, so, and that way you can make your notes too, and
It's a
come
lot
back.
to read through, Kim.
Well,
Yeah,
it is, but,
and when you work full time, run a business.
well, I'm hoping that it's, I've cut it down because some of the stuff in here was not good. One section I took out completely, you have to retire it, so,
And all the ones in the back that are red, that's just all additions.
it's all additions. Yes. It will also give me the opportunity to get back from Lindsay her thoughts on some of this as well. And then when she does, I can also share that with you.
Yeah, she was the one that was present when we did it last time, when we
Correct.
started it, so.
Yeah, she got it and she just said, do you want me to review it? I said, yes. Because I just went in and started checking the legality of it and just changed the verbiage, because some of it was really outdated.
That's pretty much what
I don't think that there's anything in there that's earth shattering.
No,
As I read through it, I didn't see anything that really jumped out.
it's not, it's just updating the
It's like
wording.
converting William Shakespeare to today's language. It really-
Now, the only thing I did see is, I'm reading back through this, is section 201 where it says composition, selection of terms. You've highlighted, the regular term of council person shall expire on the first Tuesday of May.
Oh, yeah, that's gotta be changed.
Okay.
That's the portion. I went to change it, and it wouldn't let me change.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
that's what I'm,
Yes,
That's the old time.
that's the old one, it
I
should,
know.
yeah.
Well, I just wanted to make sure I saw that, and I was like, that was one of the things.
That's what
Yeah,
I-
here's
Say
the gallery
November.
right there, yeah.
That's what I found.
Yeah, it should say November.
Yeah.
I do think, and I don't know where it would be appropriate, but for you all to think about it, is that, and Cindy and I had the conversation, that there needs to be a provision in there for removing an elected official. For example, if somebody came down with a severe illness and couldn't be here for 6 months, couldn't do the job, or convicted of some terrible crime, or they just didn't bother to show up at meetings. I mean, there has to be some way, something terrible, but, you know, you don't want to get rid of elected officials.
I know in the Parks and Recs.
No, they will, but.
They had, you had, if you missed 3 meetings in a row, they could terminate you from the.
Can't,
Well, isn't there some kind of state law?
no,
I don't know that.
no, not for elected officials. Parks Board, they're not elected, so they're voluntary, so. you
Correct.
have to
I mean,
agree
you know,
with the law.
if I just chose not to come to the meeting for a year, ain't nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
And I just think that's crazy.
Well, I think we need to put in there, like, if it's a terminal illness that, you know,
Well, you have to think about it, because the council
Correct.
would have to vote on it, have to be a legitimate reason and so
Correct.
forth and so on. And I don't know what you'd have to do to make it legal, but there ought to be something.
I'm gonna read it, because I like to put in there, if somebody leaves the council, that it automatically goes to a special election. It's no point who the council wants to sit up here, it has to go to a special
We
election.
already changed that.
That's already in there.
I just wanna make sure.
it's in there.
It's in there.
I read, yeah.
We changed that.
It's actually towards the front.
Well, I think
2 years ago when I was-
when a couple stepped down, Brandon and Amanda stepped down, I think there was a special election for
When
Christina.
Brandon stepped down, there was interviews and I got appointed. And
Okay.
then when Amanda, we had a special election for Amanda.
I thought so, I thought the one.
That's when it was changed.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. All right, anybody else have anything for the workshop? And I'm gonna throw this out there, and I know what you're all gonna say. But I think these workshops are a waste of time. When you change it to a workshop, we have no authority to do anything, so we're here, and we can talk, but we can't do anything about it. And all we do is kick the issues down the road, and we're pushing things behind it. We need to be working on voting on it. That's mine.
Well,
That's
the
my
public isn't privy to our emails though, so this does at least allow them to hear our discussions.
You can have a discussion in the council meeting, just as well as you can here. The only difference here is you can't vote on anything.
We'd just be here that much longer at the town council meetings.
But the point is to get work done. You know, you need to be able to get the work done, and if you have a workshop, it's fine and great to talk about stuff, but you can't act on it. So now here we are pushing everything down the line. If we could vote on these things tonight, we'd be done. But we're gonna come back.
Well,
In 2
the
weeks,
charter,
talk
we
about
wouldn't be
it.
able to
Well,
vote
and
on.
we can't
Maybe the
go
tags, we would have been able
It,
to vote
it
on.
used to be, we had 2 meetings, and then for some reason they decided to change it to a workshop. I don't agree with it, but I don't get to change the rules.
Yeah, and I can tell you that
Well,
when I
okay.
first started here, we changed the workshops to meetings because we had so much that we had to get done and changed that I think my first workshop was January. So,
Well, I don't really even see a lot of emails come through from other council members, so it's, and we're not allowed to have like decision-making discussions even in a email. So I feel like this is the most transparent way.
Why can't you have that same transparency in a regular council meeting, is all I'm asking you.
Because this gives us some foresight as to what we need to discuss.
I get where Dave's
I
coming
don't follow
from,
what you're saying.
because we could have voted tonight if it was a regular meeting on the door tags, so that Cindy could have moved forward with it.
We didn't do
Even
anything tonight we
the
couldn't have done
constant
in a
yield
regular
rate, we
meeting.
could have had a
So
discussion.
if we had gotten emailed the door tags to review before the meeting, I'm assuming we can't go back and forth in email, right, between all of us because it's not in public
No,
to discuss the changes that we talked about here.
right.
So that would be the purpose.
Well, I guess you
You
could
can have
reply,
that
we
same
could reply.
discussion at a council
but
meeting.
yeah, what he's saying, we could have still had this discussion, and at the end, you all could have
You voted on
voted.
it. There's nothing
And I
stopping you
could
in the
move
meeting
forward.
to have that
That's
same
all he's
discussion.
saying, is you could still have the same discussion.
We would
Sometimes I just like to let things simmer and absorb it.
Well, there's nothing says you have to vote on it. You can say, I don't want to vote on it. I'm just saying, by having these workshops, you have taken away the authority for you to make any decision. I don't agree with it. So that's why I'm speaking up. You know, I see emails you send all the time where you're bringing up stuff you're disagreeing. That's what I'm saying. I think we're wasting time.
We're not privileged to come up here every day.
Right, that's the other thing, is I think it's an assumption.
Some of the stuff,
So we were doing 2 meetings a month, and we got to where we were kicking the can, and then Denton had their issue with some legal stuff, and our attorney.
Because of attorneys, that's why we changed it, because they couldn't be here.
Exactly, and that's why we made the first one a workshop, because we weren't sure if we were gonna have legal representation,
Just like tonight.
just like tonight. So tonight, we wouldn't have been able to do much, but the young lady said that if she's gonna be coming to both meetings, the workshop and that, then I don't have a problem making both.
yeah, if we can have attorney here for every meeting, then we'll go back to regular meetings. If we can't, we stick to the workshop.
Yeah, but I mean,
Pretty sure we're
the
gonna
original
change
purpose,
it.
the original purpose to switch them around was because we couldn't always have an
I
attorney
just hate
the
kicking
first
the
Thursday of the
I
month.
agree.
Well, now, next time we have the meeting, we're gonna have to go back over
We'll have to vote
the
next
vote
meeting.
on the thing, so it just drags things out. But like the charter, we know we're gonna have time to read all of that.
Well, then you got
That-
advertising requirements and everything.
Correct. But like even, but you can't do anything with the constant yield rate, because you still have to have, don't we have to have a public hearing on that also?
Correct.
Correct.
Only if you're changing.
Correct, if we're changing it, if we're staying the same, then we don't have to.
So if you can just add that to the next agenda about discussion on going back to 2 meetings a month.
Okay.
Actually, that'd be more productive with the budget coming up.
Yep.
Yes.
We
Well,
can actually,
just think about it.
we can actually do a section, each meeting, and we'll be further ahead of the game. And
Well, I sent you out the tentative schedule for the budget.
yeah, it looks tight, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna take that long, that's what I'm gonna be presenting.
It's only the 4 departments that we gotta go over, so.
Correct.
So
But I
it
don't
shouldn't-
think it's gonna be that long based off of the information I'm gonna be giving you.
We might be able to knock 2 of them out in one meeting, you know? Might be able to knock it out, you know? It might be that easy.
Did
Because I can
anybody-
tell you right now, last year, what a joke. How many different-
I am not doing what we did last year.
We had 10 different budgets, and every time it was something different, and we were all,
Our department head's gonna be here to
Yes.
represent their budget?
Yes,
Have you shared the preliminary budget schedule with them?
yes.
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
I have. So it'll
It's in the
be,
packet.
both
I knew I had.
Public
I
Works
just
and
wanna make sure
PD
you
have
knew.
gotten the request for their budgets, they've gotten a spreadsheet, they've gotten instructions on how to fill them out, if they have any questions to reach out to me. I'm working on the enterprise and the general one. There will be no condensed version. You're getting a full-fledged line item budget is what you're getting.
Just
That's
right
what we
down the
want.
line.
No condensed, you're gonna
That's what we
see
do.
exactly what the line item is and what it's going to.
And I would like it on a projector,
We can do that.
you know what I mean, shoot it on that wall. so
Yeah,
the
the county
public
puts it
can
up
see
on the wall, so
Yeah, well,
everybody
we can
can
do that.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you though, some of the general ledger codes that we have are gonna encompass like, miscellaneous contracts. So things that we contract out, like the lab services for the wastewater treatment plant, or Susquehanna, or those types of things are gonna fall under this big GL code, because you don't want 50 codes that break down every detail of everything you're doing. if you're working in accounting and you know finance, there's a general code that it falls under, and you don't make a code up just to fit what you want it to say.
So
But you'll have the backup. But you'll have the backup of what is in that that's going to be for that general ledger code. So if there's 15 contracts in there, you're gonna have the backup to support those 15 contracts, not just the bottom line figure.
Right.
Okay?
That works.
Like I said,
Yeah,
you're gonna get
that's-
different stuff this time. It's not gonna be what you're used to getting.
Oh, that's good, because we've been asking to get it different every year.
Yeah.
And we did, we got different figures every year. So,
And also, it's gonna show the breakdown of property taxes of what's going to what department. That was not done. I
Right.
went back and looked to try to figure out the percentage, and there was nothing there, so.
I think we had the discussion too, that some of your time, the people at town hall have to be dedicated to the sewer treatment for billing, the letters, all that stuff, so all that gets put into public works.
You just figure out
to
a
the sewer
percentage
treatment
of time
plant.
and send out.
So it all has to be broke down that way too, so.
You can come up with a basic percentage, like I can tell you, the
It's
girls
all
up
easy,
front
man.
spend a lot of time on the water and sewer billing.
I mean, the only
And
one is the
handling
police
complaints.
department, right, that comes out of the property tax.
They should not be a part of the wastewater treatment plant
Correct.
budget, they were in the past.
Right.
That'll be
The
coming
police
out.
department?
Oh,
Yeah. So strictly the taxes that people pay, pays the police department.
Correct.
So that's where that comes out of. So if we got $1 million and theirs is $500,000, we have $500,000.
The other thing you're not gonna see is proposed grant money put in there. We're not gonna work off of the maybes, we're gonna work off actual
Well, we
figures.
can only spend actual money.
Well, you put $50,000 in grant money into the police department last year, and we didn't get it.
And
So-
didn't you mention something, because I know I had a meeting with Christina with this autism, where didn't we have like a events, instead of doing it like they were doing the fishing derby, having a dedicated thing for just events, a total of money to make it easier that way too?
Yes, we'll be cutting that down, but just so you know, that when the expenses were put in to be able to put that money to these events, it was also put into revenue to get that money back, so it offset and went down to zero.
So is the reason the grants weren't received because
They
of the
didn't do it
audit?
in time. No, they didn't do it
They
in
weren't
time.
submitted in time?
Correct.
Wasn't submitted in time, or maybe something was missed.
And we didn't get the grant.
Once
Correct, or you didn't get the grant, period.
Right.
The basketball grant we didn't get, that was built into the budget, that was $12,000, we didn't get that. There was a couple other ones that we did not get that was put in the budget. We're not gonna work that way. I wanna work off actual figures to make
I
sure
always
that
wondered
we're.
why they were working off the maybes.
So we're gonna work off exactly what we have, and then we'll have to curtail just curtail our spending on what we have.
Well, you've cut a lot spending of,
I have.
of nuisance, phones,
I have,
all that kind of stuff.
yes.
I mean,
And we're getting ready to change that even more, so, there's more to come with the phones. We're still having a little difficulty trying to get the new phone system in because of the way Verizon does their billing. It's cumbersome in there, and you have to watch what you're turning off because some of these go to pump station alarms.
Right.
So it's very difficult, and I actually have the guy working on that that's helping me work through that. And I'm still trying to dig to find one of the bills that they consolidate the bills, so it's not showing itemized bills, and that's what he needs. But the other side of that is going in and look at these pump station alarms that we're paying an astronomical amount for, that there is a simpler solution that's a lot more cost effective that we need to do. So that'll be the next thing that we dive into, is to bring somebody in that can make that change for us and save us a lot of money. So there's still a lot to do, it's just that
Oh, yeah.
we've had a lot going on with the audit and the upgrade into QuickBooks and getting everything in. And like I said, we were just gonna do fiscal year 26, we ended up going back and doing 24 and 25 in QuickBooks, so.
Did we get the 2023 audit, the final draft?
It should be here any day, just waiting on the hard copy to come in.
I will tell you that there's a lot going on in the town office, between Cindy and the girls in here, so If you don't need to bother them with something, please try to leave them alone as best that you can, because it is nonstop, and every time we turn around, there's something else pops up, like today.
Yeah.
A big one popped up, and I don't know if she's told you all about it yet or not, but.
Well, they got the email as well, that we had to stop and start working on, so. And then there was a couple other little hiccups today, so you get involved in it, and you start, like I was working on the budget, and then I finally finished it up around 2 a.m. this morning, but there's still a lot of work in QuickBooks that we have to go in, because our old budget was based off of all of these codes, and in QuickBooks, they're merged together, so you have to sit there and figure out where it went to put it in the right category, so that it matches up. But then when you get pulled away from that, then you've got to get back in and figure out where you left off, so sometimes it can be a little tedious when that happens.
Okay.
All right, well, I think that's everything.
Motion for adjournment.
Well, before we do, Brandon, I'd like to thank you and your men for all the work that you've done with the snow and all the tree limbs, and I hope that, and I'm confident that the citizens are appreciative, because there sure was a lot of tree limbs out there. I don't know how many you hauled away, but there was a lot out there, and still a lot. I don't know what the county guys are gonna do.
33 loads.
You ride down a county road into the woods,
There's a lot. God bless you.
And
So, Pete made a motion to adjourn, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you all.
Sorry for my rant.